Welcome to another episode of Badass Engineers. I'm el-attar, an electronics engineer consultant and your host. And as always, Badass Engineers is always powered by Aris Grassroots Education, powering tech, empowering youth. And today I'm speaking with Malak Trabelsi Loeb, who is the CEO and founder of Vernewell Academy. Hi, Malak.
Hello. I love the energy. Actually, it's amazing. I love that smell and the energy also.
Shukran. Thank you. Malak, could you introduce yourself to everybody? I mean, a lot of people know who you are anyway, but introduce yourself.
This is the worst part. It's like, okay, just say my name and say what I do. Shortly, it's like, okay, the managing director of Vernewell Group, and that's it. As you said, people most likely they know who you are and who I am from LinkedIn, and they can check the accounts, but shortly. So professionally, and what I am coming from, like from the sector, I am from the legal industry and business. And I got specialized in some very at that time when I say I want to be a space lawyer or I want to do space law, and people they're like, oh my god, is it about aliens? You know, it's like, okay, now in my presentation when I speak about space law, I put alien.
I love it.
It's not about aliens. It's about all the human activities that is happening. Like it has to do with space activities. And I tell them, satellites and broadcast and communications. Yeah. And when you are launching a rocket, that is governed by international space law. And also I explain about space economy. Sometimes I go for dinners or meeting with people, they're not from the space industry, and I start speaking at the end of the time, it's like about space law, because they're very, very attractive to know about it. And from there, I got into tech law. And all what is related to national security, geopolitical issues that has to do with tech transfer from one country to another, or investments in these technologies with that have an implication on space, on national security. So then I could keep on going. No, that's enough. And the rest, you can see it from there. Vernewell Academy, actually, it's something all about space, quantum, entrepreneurship, and other. Okay, so that's it for now.
That is so cool. Space and quantum entrepreneurship. So obviously I'm an engineer and I'm, in technology all the time, and I very rarely think about the things you do, and it just makes me realize, that our tech field is so amazing. It's so varied. You can do anything in the field, and I can't wait to speak to you about space law. Like, how did you decide space law?
Most of the time when I have something that I can look at it is negative, I try to draw the best out of it, like the best out of that thing. So actually, when I decided to do law, I was old. I had my son and everything. So it was not my first endeavor. And at that point, I said, you know what, I'm going to specialize like in something that it's not that expertise. You don't see it everywhere. So it's not about, going where all are thinking, tax law, or when you are in international business law. That's what I've done. So I said, I'm going to go to a niche. And when I started, even I remember, even like lawyers, they were like, what are you talking about? And it was about space insurance. And I told them, insurers are different. They're not like the other kind of insurers. And they're like, how come? And they were insurance professional, like lawyers. This is the thing. It's like I wanted to have a competitive advantage based on the age, because at that time, if I want to start a law career, trying to go where everyone is going, actually, I will not be at the same level where they are. So that's why I had a shortcut, and I said, I will go leverage my business, whatever I've done business before, and leverage also all the mistakes I've done in business, and try to be to practice something that it's not usually you see it. At that time, it wasn't something that you can see like today with the awareness. I remember some groups on Facebook, they looked at my, my like space law and everything, and they took screenshot and they were laughing at me and talking about,
What?
she's an alien lawyer, she's this and that, and actually someone sent me the link and told me that group is talking about you, making fun of you because of space law. So what I've done is I entered to the group and I started sharing with them links and everything. And at that time, it's like, in the beginning it was painful. Then it's like, how dare they? How come people they don't know make fun of others? Which I am so happy about right now, because it gives me the opportunity, when I see like that, the opportunity to open dialogue. And actually they it's not kind of I try to correct, but at the end of the day, it's all about awareness.
Wow, what a situation to turn around. So you've joined the industry older than most people, which, there should be no age discrimination, but you still use that to your advantage. And then when people literally came at you making fun of the work, the amazing groundbreaking work that you do, you also turned that around. That's really just incredible.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you say that the age discrimination is like the gender and all these kind of things. I see it every day. I see it every day. Especially, okay, I entered also into the space industry at an age that I couldn't enter into the, the organization like Space Generational Council, with that you need to be 34, less, I think, than 34 or 35 in order to, and they're doing an amazing job. Now I'm mentoring them, but it's amazing. I couldn't, and it hurt me so much at that time. It's like, why my age or my nationality at that time can be a hindrance, because now I'm Belgian, but originally I'm Tunisian from North Africa.
أهلا وسهلا.
أنت مصرية, yeah?
أنا مصرية. I bring the Egyptian everywhere.
The Tunisian. So actually, it's something that it has to do with the age, and it has to do with the nationality. And unfortunately, the nationality is biggest problem when it comes to national security issues related to space industry, like the technology in general. So yeah, this is one of the things that, how can we and this is what I mentor, how can we use that the issues that you find in front of you as a challenge, as a hindrance, barrier, how you can change it into a challenge, and you defeat the challenge. And actually the challenges are always in front of me. It's like, okay, take it on. And sometimes I couldn't even bear to take, but at the end of the day, it's like, you did it before, you're able to do it now.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we have loads of questions in this bag, and we'll pick some questions out now. But I also want to let everybody who's watching us live, as always, we have a comment section, and feel free to ask us any questions as we go along, and we'll answer as many as we can. So are you ready for a bag question?
Yes, please.
Should we get one out?
It's something about space travel. It's not space travel. It's like, what? Faster than light travel,
Okay, so I'll read this question. Oh, okay. What is the most important thing we can do to ensure that the benefits of new technologies are shared equitably?
Oh my God, this is a dear question. I love it. Actually, equity, it's one of the most important principle in international law. Okay, that everything that we all activities, projects, outcome, policies, and everything take into consideration the equity principle. And we have two types of equity. We have intergenerational equity and intragenerational equity. It's like, for example, I will take you a little bit into something that is related to sustainability. When we speak about sustainability, the principle of equity is enormous, is huge. So we need to make sure that the resources that we are using today is distributed in an equitable manner around the same generation, means like the principle of justice, and the other one is between the today's generation and the next generations. So if I give you an example that we can put into account, when we talk about space, okay, when we talk about space, we talk about resources, space resources, and we talk about space debris, okay? Then Today, we have an issue about space debris that when we look at it from an equity perspective, we need to ensure the way how we are using the space, outer space, in an equitable manner, that the next generation, after 100 years, after 50 years, or whatever how you are considered next generations, can utilize the same. Means if you place a satellite today and you have all the benefits of satellite, you need to ensure that the generations to come will do that also. So yeah. I can give you so many examples. Climate change is to have the responsibility to mitigate the issue of the climate change and try to act, not try, do act today in order to ensure that the future generations are having equitable access to pure air and all what is related to climate change, that it could have an adverse effect that can harm the future generations.
Yeah. That and a lot of people, are familiar with things like climate change because it's happening here on Earth, but we rarely think about things like space debris. And it's so amazing to know that people like you are there to ensure that the policies are followed within the space and tech industries.
Yeah, actually, the policies, we can make an influence to the policies with the awareness we are making, and also with the voices that we are raising. But also from my the way how I do it is, I found a very good way is to input all the guidelines to mitigate issues like the space debris or other issues that could happen within the contractual means between the parties. And this is one of the things that it's very, very important. And my thesis subject before, it was the role of space insurer in filling the gaps, some of the gaps that we have in international law, and basically is how to mitigate the risks that related to space debris and others that can make harm in outer space.
Wow. Oh, your job is so important. Let's get another question out, shall we?
Thank you. Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, let's do it.
The bag. It's an Egyptian bag, actually. Yeah.
It's actually a bag somebody got me for Christmas a few years ago, 5 years ago, and then the handle broke, so I use it as a bag for badass engineers.
Yeah, that's very nice. It looks like it has a nice Egyptian style,
It does a bit. Maybe they were thinking that when they got it for me, Maishi, let's see. What does this one say? Oh, I love this question because I really want to know. It says, what is the most interesting piece of space debris you've ever seen?
I never seen. We start with this one, and I'm not a space debris tracking person. So the most important one that it's always in mind is the when we talk about space debris and the sizes of what could be as space debris, we say always it goes from the size of school bus.
Oh, okay.
Up to a small little the tent of paint.
A small little what? Sorry.
The pen,
like a pen.
Yeah, no. The you have in the space debris, you have the color that comes off. It's the painting.
Oh yeah. Printing.
No. Is it like, something? This is the problem of someone speaking Arabic and French and try to speak English.
I don't think it's your fault. I think it's mine. Let's try again. So it goes from the size of a bus.
Color, you airbrush coloring. Yeah. For example, the metal.
Yeah.
Okay, you see that color?
Yeah.
And when it comes off, it can make big problems to destroy other satellites.
Wait, what? Hang on. What? I had no idea. No. So the paint can come off. and
Okay,
destroy satellites.
yes, that's the one. Yes, can do that. And this is, and the sizes of the space debris, it goes from there to a school bus size old satellites.
Oh my god. Oh my
So
god.
this is one of the things, is like a lot they speak about Kessler syndrome.
Uh-huh.
Some others, they don't believe it's the present issue that it would happen. Okay,
Uh-huh.
skeptics. But of course, the thing is, like, more we have debris,
Yeah.
the more we are sending constellations and more satellites, the more it's going to be crowded.
Yeah.
And as I said, a small this piece, tiny itty bitty, can make a problem with the other space residents, what
Right.
we call it, and or space assets, or space the living satellites,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is the problem with the issue, that can you imagine that tomorrow, with all these 30 plus thousand constellation of this one, and the other one is 2,500, and the other one is I don't know what, and the more the technology goes cheaper, which we call we use the word, we take off the shelf technology, that you
Right.
don't need to go and develop all your technology to have a CubeSat,
Yeah,
means
yeah.
you can buy the off the shelf technology to use it. So if you are if there is like the barrier to entry to the satellite industry, or the satellite manufacturing and operators and all this is lower, means we will have more and more players, and more satellites are deployed. And this is one of the things. First of all, the space debris is big problem, and the
Yeah.
other problem is related to also the equity and accessibility of all the nations. And this is, I go back to one of the things, because
Mm.
the nations who do not have the
Mm-hmm.
possibility to stand to deploy their satellites today. So by and these slots for to place these satellites
Mm-hmm.
scarce, means like it's finite, it's not infinite, especially for the low Earth orbit, which is the most accessible cost wise. So
Yeah.
maybe when I write about all this, it's
Yeah.
fluent, nice, and everything. But when I try to explain with this, trying to look for the words, and you have all the languages try to come up together, it's a problem. But
Why that is great. And also, like, who can say they speak three languages fluently?
actually, yeah, the most difficult is Arabic, because I see that more Arabic people speak English and
Mm,
French, but
mm,
the opposite is not always right. It's
mm.
difficult for them to speak Arabic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Which is sad. I mean, obviously, Arabic is my first language, but as an electronics engineer, I have to speak English all the time. So now English is better. I can speak English better than I speak Arabic, because I don't have to use my Arabic very much anymore. This is it's really sad. It's really sad for me anyway.
I think the language is like you need to, when you start again to have people around you to speak the same language, you will
Mm,
catch it very, very quick. And
absolutely.
I've done my bachelor in law and economics in Arabic, and it was in UAE. It was a challenge for me, because I studied before in French
Hmm.
most of the time, and English. So it was, and of course, when we study, it's not like speaking fluently all the time. So, but it was in Arabic, and can you imagine economics in Arabic? It was
I
so.
can't imagine economics in Arabic. I can't. I don't know the words. I wouldn't know. Yeah, like I can't imagine engineering in Arabic either. But I think yes, it's really rare that somebody will study that in Arabic. Well done.
Thank you. Sometimes I memorize everything by heart. It's like, okay, I cannot afford to try to understand and try to say things. Okay, memorize it by heart. So like that, I am 100%. And economy is like you do a lot of exercises. Sometimes what I do, I memorize the exercise by heart, enter the exam, put the exercise, and go back in order to see if it's like all right by work or not. And to that point, because when you do law, you have very, very good memory and you need to memorize all the time.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Arabic, if you ever want to study in Arabic, I'm here.
Yalahoy! Yalahoy! I'll be like, please help. Okay, let's pick another question from the bag. We have 5 minutes. Do you think we
Okay.
have enough time to answer one more question? Yalla, 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 yalla. Okay. It's so rare that I have Arabic speakers on the show, so it's really nice to be able to say
Actually, I have
yalla and stuff.
mine in Arabic very often, very, very rare. But I did it
Yeah.
on purpose because actually it's nice and fun.
Yeah. It's nice and fun to like say yalla and that. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying?
Oh,
Yeah.
yalla.
Yalahoy. Okay, yalahoy, yalla. So now,
Yalla.
what does this question say? Ooh, how does the presence of space debris impact current and future space missions and satellite operations? Do you think we've answered that question
You
already?
can go to another question if you want.
Let's go to another question. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, what does this question say? It says, I like this question. What are some potential challenges in ensuring that robots and AI systems make morally sound decisions in complex situations? How do we make sure that robots don't take over the world?
Can we make sure the ones who are working on robots are sound enough to make ethical decisions? You know, there's this great man who was working with Google, and he's Mo what? He's an AI engineer. I see him always on YouTube, and actually, I love the way how he's getting people aware about the situation with robots and actually with AI. And what he says actually there is something that we need to understand is our action will define how AI will either take the world or not. It's like because at the end of the day, it's the programming we are making it humans. And how can we ensure, for example, when you have and this one is very, very important one when it comes to women and gender equality is when you have a software and that software is making the going through CVs when you are applying for a job. And actually, for me, I don't like those softwares because actually there is biases, and these biases are they were pinpointed by so many organizations and institutions. And how can we make sure that these softwares do not have those biases? And actually, this is a complex situation in a way or another. It's a social issue. When women are put aside because of an AI software, it's a problem. So how can we ensure that? Is the people who are working on these softwares need to make sure and be aware about their unconscious biases in order to remove these biases from the AI program.
I will go a step further and say, like, I know there are issues both ways, but I will go a step further and say it's crucial to have the people developing these technologies be diverse themselves, because you can have unconscious biases and know that you have unconscious biases, but knowing them isn't necessarily going to fix the problem unless you also marry that with having representation of that, of the people who these biases would negatively affect on the selection committee itself or on the developers team themselves, and definitely high up in the C-suite.
That's why I believe always in psychologists for tech, developers. It's very, very important because actually, even with the representation, do you know that women can be more biased against each other than men against women?
I'm so glad you said this, Malak. I'm so glad you said this because, I've experienced it.
There's always issues. and you see more and more women working with men more than women working with women. And this is not even me saying it. It is also some questionnaires and things. It was, and I was speaking with a great leader, and he told me about it. He said it's unbelievable because they've done questionnaire with the big team they were, and they find out that women prefer to work with men.
Really? Ah, that's so, I mean, I want to work with men, I want to work with women, I want to work with non-binary people. I just want to have a lovely, diverse team, because especially when we're talking about engineering and technology, innovation comes from people who can think outside the box and have wildly different ideas. So it's such a shame that that's the reality.
I hope it will change. And this is, I go back to the situation. Yes, representation is important, and also because actually we never aware about our unconscious. Because if we know our biases, they wouldn't be unconscious biases.
Yeah.
So how can the organization, like a big organization, which I'm not going to say name, like the ones we know working on different AI models that will be deployed and the basis of so many other applications. Do they have, how they mitigate the risks of the unconscious biases, how they mitigate the risk of the issues related to discriminations and all these kind of things that we're not aware ourselves about. And this can be through engaging other people who are specialized in that, in order to pinpoint from an outsider look to see and have discussion and group gathering and everything, in order to see what is the problem with this particular how I'm going to say neural network.
Yes,
not the
yes.
AI, but the human neural network.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Oh, I'm so happy you brought this up, Malak, and I know your time is so precious. Thank you so much for giving up your time to speak to me today.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And thank you for the energy and for everything. And it's a pleasure. And to the audience, sorry if I couldn't say properly. What was it? The paint.
Whoa. The paint, yeah, the little layer of paint. I thought you explained it really well. I thought you were great. I'm still mind blown that paint can wreck satellites.
Actually, in a way or another, can cause a damage.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
How
goodness.
it is, this depends on the situation and what it is.
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you for your wealth of knowledge, Malak, and of course, thank you to everybody who's been listening as well, and everybody who's going to watch all our videos. And thank you, of course, to Aris Gracias Education for powering tech and empowering youth. And I'll see you everybody in the next episode of Badass Engineers. Thank you. Bye. Ma salama.
Bye.
We're gonna have to say bye for a long time.